And so the next video I want to share is it's a little clip from Jay Shetty.
On the Diary of a CEO.
Sleeping in the same bed as someone does not make you close to someone. Living in the same house as someone does not make you close to someone. The only thing that makes you feel close to someone is when you feel you can be open and when you feel seen, heard, and understood in your most vulnerable, darkest, and open times. If you can do that, everything else is going to work. But if you can't do that, you can't just make it happen in a moment because you're meant to be together.
So he basically just reiterated what we were saying, right?
That is not just about sleeping in the same bed.
Right.
And being intimate.
Right. So a lot of people, I feel like a lot of relationships operate like that.
On just intimacy?
We just get together at nighttime. And I'm going to say this is probably why a lot of women, after a while, they get bored in their intimate life, right? Because they don't feel connected to their partner. Mm-hmm. And like men and women, we're different.
Tell them how we different.
Right?
Wow. We are.
What a discovery, right? But we're very different, especially when it comes to intimacy, because women, we need to be connected and we need to feel intimate in other ways other than physically.
Well, you're saying you.
Most of us. I've heard this from many women, and research shows that, and I've heard therapists also talk about this, that as women, you can't treat us like an object. You can't treat us all day, not even say hello, good morning, hi baby, how you doing? Did you eat? Do something nice for us. Be connected with us throughout the day, and then the nighttime comes and you expect us to be all lovey-dovey and just ready for you, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't work that way, and this is why a lot of men have problems when it comes to being intimate with their women, because they're not connecting throughout the day with their partner. They're just like, okay, it's bedtime. Come here. Like, they're ready to get it on. And the woman is like, I feel so disconnected. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm blocking you. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not in that mood right now. Like, that mood for women needs to be
throughout the course of the day.
It needs to be built. And so I feel like a lot of relationships, they miss that, and that's why it gets boring, and it gets, and that intimacy part becomes a chore for the woman, because if we don't feel like in the mood, it's trash. Like, there's nothing you can do. There literally is nothing you can do to get a woman who's not in the present, in that moment, wanting it, to get her in the mood if she is not there mentally. Like, you can, trust me, you can do everything. But if she's not there mentally, ready for that, she's not going to receive anything you do as exciting. And
it's funny that you say that, because we've actually had these conversations off the podcast. Like as we always say, again, in every podcast, is like we do a lot of communication. Mm-hmm. And like we've spoken about this. So we know that already. Mm-hmm. But there's people that don't have communication in their marriage, relationship, dating. And that is what happens. That it's just like, it's the guy will show up, or, I mean, obviously if the girl was to do that, it's probably easier for the guy to just get turned on. Like
100%. The guy does not need to be turned on all day, or like you could just at nighttime resuelve and it's done. Like, but that's why we're different, and men need to understand how we operate, and we need to understand how men operate, right? Like, it's a lot easier for you guys to get in the mood, but it's not as simple for a woman.
Just wink at me, baby.
It's not as simple for a woman. If we are like had a super overwhelming day, sometimes if we get in the mindset that, tonight, I'm just going to release my tension, we could do that ourselves. But if we're not in that mindset, baby, we're gonna have a hard time.
That's fucked up because it's like you could just come and do, not literally come, but you can literally just enter the room and be like, yo, showtime. And we're like, let's get it. And me, I gotta be working throughout the day.
It is what it is. But you know,
I signed up for it.
Men like, but also what men don't understand is like, it's the little things, right? You bring your woman Starbucks, you know, randomly. You randomly showing up with flowers. Or guess what? You helping her clean the kitchen. Helping her clean up right before you go to bed if you see that she's still up trying to like pick up because she's annoyed by the mess. Like, it's the little things that will make your woman drool over you. But you guys, some of you don't get it. Some of you just refuse to get it.
You release that stress
exactly.
that she's facing at the moment. And it's kind of like she can focus on now
exactly
her self-care and makeup.
You know it. Routine. You know that's what it is. If we're stressed out, boy.
When in doubt, clean the house.
If we're stressed out and if we're mad that you're not, and you haven't helped, you haven't lifted a finger, and that house is a mess, and we're stressed out because of that, oh boy, don't talk to me about that. Like, don't talk to me about that. Like, as women, we have so many, you know, let's say as men, you guys have a lot of things in your head, let's say when it comes to most of you, financially, taking care of your family, or being a provider man. As women, we have a lot of things in our head when it comes to our families, when it comes to our kids, when it comes to our households, when it comes to keeping a tidy home, the cleaning, the laundry, which could be done as a teamwork, but depending on how your household runs, a lot of the times women are the ones who have these things in the back of their head. And even if sometimes you see your woman isn't doing anything, sometimes we are paralyzed by the overwhelm. Just because we're sitting down doesn't mean that internally we're not stressing out about everything that needs to get done. Mm-hmm. You know, and
because there's like so much to do.
Yeah, a lot of men might look from the outside looking in and say like, what are you stressing out about? You're not even doing anything. You're sitting down. But meanwhile, in her head, she's like,
where do I start?
I went to work this morning. I helped the kids with their homework. I cooked dinner, but I still have a pile of laundry over there. I need to clean the bathrooms. I need to organize the kids' closet because it's a mess. And just those little things are not going to let her focus on you at night, boo-boo. Like, she's not going to be in the best mood to give you her best self.
Yeah.
But if you at least acknowledge those things throughout the day, and maybe you don't have to do everything that needs to get done by yourself, because you don't, but, or maybe you can. Sometimes she does it by herself. Like, why can't you? But just acknowledging that it's okay. What's stressing you out? What can I help you with? Will set you up for success, my guys.
What's the chances that some men are listening to this right now?
I don't know, but whoever's listening,
share with your man.
I hope you I hope you learned something.
Fellas, it works.
I mean, we're coming, you know, we may not be perfect. We're not perfect. And we don't have the perfect relationship, even though in my eyes it's perfect for me. There's a lot of things that from some people or some women looking in might be like, I will never deal with that. Like, I will never be with a person who does X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. But for me, he's perfect. And am I perfect for you?
Yeah, baby.
I think we're perfect for each other. And in our imperfections, we're perfect for each other. And so
we also got here, like, we've molded ourselves.
Yeah, we've learned along it's been a journey. But, you know, the things that we say it out of experience. This is what we've experienced, and this is what has worked for us. And I would like to say that we have a pretty successful marriage. And so it works. Just listen to each other. Have compassion, empathy.
At what stage is marriage successful? Isn't there like they'd be like 5, isn't it like 5 years? They'd be like, oh, you probably divorced in like 5 years.
I've heard before, if you pass 10.
You good?
even though that's a lie, because you could go downhill at any point. But if you've been together with the person, in my opinion, for more than 10 years, and you've been successful in those 10 years, because you could have had 10 years of hell, then I feel like that's a strong foundation. I mean, 10 years is a long time with a person. If you've been able to work through the kinks, through the hurdles.
So like the early hurdles of
for 10 years.
Of figuring each other out.
Right.
Yeah, like if at 10 years, let's say between after 7 years, you're still like figuring out little shit, it's kind of like, bro, we're going to get this together or what? No?
What do you mean, figuring out what?
Like little stuff.
I mean, you always, I mean, people
No, but like
grow.
little stuff that should have been done in the beginning.
Oh, like trying to get it together after 7 years. Yeah. If you're not improving as a person after 7 years, I mean, yikes. You're not going to.
10 years is a long time.
Yes, but
Our son is 10.
I feel like if in 10 years you've had a strong bond, and maybe you had your ups and downs, but you were able to work through them and learn from them, not continue to repeat them, I feel like that is a pretty strong foundation to continue having a successful marriage.
So big foundation. 10 years?
Yeah, yeah.
If you enjoyed this clip, make sure to check out the full episode of our podcast here.